You guys, let's listen to Talk to Myself. Rain City Drive. Rain City, talk to a friend. Rain City Drive. Vibes.
I had a good thing, but I blew it. It wasn't her fault and she knew it. Tell me,
breakup.
What kind of man am I supposed to be when the lines the razor blade made her faded? Is there really any hope for me if a simple conversation's complicated? I know everything I've ever done wrong.
That's painful.
That kind of memory won't let me move on. Though there's bound to be some things that you ain't told me. I can never be ashamed of your homie.
Okay, that's really hard. That's really sad. This feeling of like, is there any hope for me? I can't even have a simple conversation. That's so mean. It's like, there's no hope for me. Let me just. I know everything I've ever done wrong and I can't move on. Like, I just keep thinking about all the things I did wrong over and over and over.
I wouldn't talk to a friend the way I talk to myself.
That's a word. I feel like this song speaks for itself. How relatable. I wouldn't talk to a friend the way I talk to myself. The voice in my head is mean as heck. I would not let that person come to my birthday party. They are not my friend. They are mean to me. They are a bully. I wouldn't talk to my friend the way I talk to myself. Wow. I'm turning my life into hell with the voice in my head. Can you relate to that? Like, I feel like that is so relatable. If you can relate to that, please share how in the comments by tagging out HeartSupport, and we'll encourage you. Okay, let's keep listening. This is a bop and a banger and a bop.
My confession, I let resentment turn into a deep depression. I spend the next 5 lines asking bad questions. How could I hit rock bottom, never learning a lesson? Do I deserve this hurting? If my body goes limp, would I float to the surface? Or can I live in a world with no purpose? How could I change when I'm still the same person? I wouldn't talk to a friend the way I talk to myself.
Banger. So this man is handsome. I'm feeling good. Look at me, my hair. Hold. Okay. There are all of these like thought patterns in here that are so painful. So, do I deserve this hurting? Like, it's like that voice in your head is telling you, yes, you deserve it. I don't have purpose. Can I live in a world with no purpose? But like, it's really interesting because he goes, before he says that, he says, I spend the next 5 lines asking bad questions. It's like he knows that the way that he's talking to himself is not helpful. It's hurtful. But he's still just like jabbing away. Okay, bye. Okay, but like, bro, sorry, I know I'm biased. I'm a therapist. Like, actually, that's even a negative voice in your head. I won't find a way out looking inside. Like, if I look inside and try to understand what's going on with me, I won't heal. Like, that is a story that the little mean guy in your brain is telling you. Because I know for a fact that looking inside can help a lot. Okay. Oh. Yeah, it does. What is this? Ow! Okay, this song is a banger. I freaking love it. And it's real, right? It's like this place. Okay, so like honestly, I think he's at a he's not at a good place. We could be better. But at least the acknowledgement of like the voice in my head could really use some help. It is not helping me. It is hurting me. It is mean as heck. I wouldn't talk to my friend that way. Like that is important. And I think that a lot of people can relate to that. I can relate to that. Sometimes I hear my own internal monologue and I'm like, girl, that is rude. That is rude and disrespectful and not true. That's what my mom always, that's so funny that I just said that to you. My mom's favorite phrase to describe anyone that is like not being nice or like is just acting up is like they're being rude and disrespectful. That is the meanest thing my sweet mother will ever say about a person. And I'm like, no, mom, they're being what do we do with that though? Like, so what do we do from that place? How do we navigate that? When we have this voice in our head, one of the hardest things about it is that we often tell ourselves that it's true. We often just believe it. We take it as fact. But what I know when I work with my clients a lot is like, would these beliefs that we have actually hold up in a court of law? And so with that in mind, I thought it would actually be really cool knowing a little bit about what the song is about. I called up my good old friend, Justin Weinstein, who's a lawyer. And I thought it would be so cool to see how a lawyer would talk back to these beliefs. Because the reality is that a lot of these things that we take as facts are not facts. And anything that can be disproven with one explanation or has one outlier or one exception is no longer a fact. So I wanted to invite Justin to come on to talk with us about this song a little bit. Justin, thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to do this with you.
Me too, Taylor. Thanks for having me.
Could you just like tell our audience a little bit about what you do as a lawyer and what cross-examination even is and how it applies here?
We're in the personal injury space. So if someone's injured, they want someone to represent their interests, tell their story, and eventually get them compensation. And so what we do, especially in court, is we'll have witnesses that basically testify to certain things that happened to our client. And a lot of times we'll go and we'll cross-examine witnesses. That is kind of what we're talking about here today, is poking holes in stories and finding out what is the truth behind some of these statements, if there is.
Yeah. So Justin is essentially a professional question asker. So we're going to allow him to teach us how to ask those good questions so that we can equip ourselves to fight back, to cross-examine our own inner critic. I'm going to play the person in this song or someone like them who just went through a breakup and is having some of these thoughts. And Justin is going to cross-examine my thought patterns. I'm nervous. I've never been to court before, Justin.
It's okay. It's okay. Just do your best. Answer truthfully. Go ahead. Raise your hand. Tell the truth.
I do.
Nothing but the truth.
Swear.
Okay. Excellent, Taylor. You're swearing.
Swear. Okay. All right. Okay. Justin, I know there's no hope for me.
Okay. What is your definition of hope, Taylor?
Well, hope means that it's possible that I get better and I get good things in my life.
And what things in your life right now are you talking about in specific?
I just went through a breakup and I've always really wanted to be with someone who loves me. And I thought I had the perfect person and I screwed it all up and now we're not together and I'm never going to find anyone else or find love.
Oh, and what's your definition of love?
Someone who cares about me and I care about them and we grow together and build a life together.
Do you have any friends, Taylor?
Yeah, I have some friends.
Okay. And would you say that your friends love you?
I don't know. They say they do.
What are some actions that you believe signify love?
Spending time together, showing up for each other, checking in, supporting them when they're not doing well.
Can you name one of your best friends?
One of my best friends, and sorry for me to not get so excited when I'm talking about her because I love her so much. One of my best friends' name is Emily.
And was there ever a time that Emily checked in with you?
Yeah, I guess she checked in with me around this
And
breakup.
And how did that make you feel?
Like she cared.
Like she loved you?
I guess.
Has anybody ever told you that they loved you?
Yeah, but what if they're just saying that because they feel bad for me?
Well, we're not mind reading here, but if they told you that they loved you and you felt love, would you say that there is someone else out there that loves you?
Yes.
Okay. So is it possible that someone other than your ex loves you?
Yes.
Is it possible for you to feel love?
Yes.
And is it possible for you to feel love from someone other than your ex?
Yes. But it's a different kind of love.
Okay. So what is this different kind of love?
Like a romantic kind of love.
Do you know how many people are on this earth, Taylor?
Like 8.5 billion or something. Is that right?
Okay. And we're talking about one person as your ex, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And out of the 8.5 billion people, do you think it's possible you find love with another person?
I guess there's a possibility.
So it is possible for you to feel loved again in romantic way.
Yeah.
So you're going to feel love again in the future, most likely, correct?
Yeah.
And in your statement, there is no hope for me. You leave no room for possibility. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. But we've established that there is a possibility of hope for you to find that romantic love again, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So now how do you feel? Do you feel like you'll find love again in the future, possibly?
I feel like it's possible that there's hope for me to find love in the future.
And you're already turning it around. Your original statement was there's no hope for you. I will never feel love again. So questioning and continuing to question, and yeah, maybe that wasn't the most fluid line of questioning. It's kind of what I go through in my head if I have that type of thought where I feel like there's no end. I don't have a solution. What am I going to do? If you continue to ask those questions and become aware of it, you're able to then put a different meaning to your thoughts. And thoughts are just thoughts. It's the meaning and the emotional response that we have to them that really like sets the tone. It sets how we're thinking and how we're feeling. You can turn them around just with asking questions and noticing possibility.
Justin, I have a question for you. I think a lot of people say that these thoughts are facts. Can you tell us a little bit like about what is a fact in a court of law? Like what makes something a fact? What does it need? What is the standard?
So really when we're in some sort of court or trial setting, we'll typically have experts and they'll give their testimony and they'll say this particular fact is a fact based on my experience, based on scientific research and multiple factors. The jury will take it as such when they go to deliberate. So the whole court system is basically, you've probably heard the jury called a trier of fact. It's because are they taking those facts as true? And that's based on evidence that we present. And that kind of like will relate to what we're talking about here. We are our own juries. We're very hard on ourselves. And so the facts that we're presenting to ourselves, I'm just going to take this completely as true. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. I'm not an expert in this particular area, but I'm just going to take it because of my experience and what I'm currently feeling. That's kind of what everybody's doing. If you're having these thoughts, there is no hope for me. Well, I'm just going to accept it as true and move on. But you're not an expert in hope, right? My past will always haunt me. Are you an expert? Or do you tell the future? In the future, you're automatically going to think of your past every single second of every day. We can't tell that. All we have is right now. We can't predict the future. What we can do is ask these questions and, continuously look at alternatives and possibilities.
I like this idea of being like the voice in our head often tells us that these statements about ourselves are facts. Justin, when we're thinking about a fact, can there be What makes a fact?
Complete truth. But they're really, with any of these thoughts that we're talking about, there are possibilities. There are endless, holes that you poke in your own story just by asking questions. So none of these statements are facts.
If there's any exception to it, could it be a fact still?
And all of the possibilities that we talk about and the questions that I just asked you create an exception. And if there's exceptions, then not a fact.
Okay. If there's exceptions, not a fact. Okay. Mm-hmm. So can we do another one and see if there are any exceptions?
Sure.
Okay. It's pointless. It's pointless to try to get better.
Why, Taylor?
Because it'll never work. I'll never get better.
Get better from what?
This pain that I'm experiencing in my life and have been experiencing, but especially after this breakup.
And how does this pain make you feel? Can you describe it?
Sad, depressed, hopeless, helpless.
Do you feel that right now?
Yeah.
As you were naming your pain, did you feel it? You felt sad, depressed, and hopeless right there speaking to me?
I guess I felt just kind of neutral there.
Okay. So is there a possibility that you can feel a different emotion than sad, pointless, or helpless?
Yeah, there's a possibility that I can feel a different emotion, but the prevailing emotions that I feel will always be negative emotions. I'll never get better.
And can you tell me, was there ever a time you didn't feel sad, pointless, or helpless before our conversation?
Yeah, but never for very long.
Okay. Can you describe when that was?
I mean, before all this bad stuff started happening, before the breakup, when I was in my relationship, I felt happier. But good things never last for me.
Okay. So you felt happy in your relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. You just said good things never last for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some things that make you happy?
Well, my relationship made me happy and that ended. That's pretty much it. Nothing.
Were you ever happy before? Were you ever happy before your relationship?
Not really.
What is your definition of happy?
Feeling joyful, enjoying life.
Okay. And so the last time you felt joyful or enjoying life was before your relationship was when?
Was in my relationship.
Only in your relationship?
I mean, I would feel it a little bit, but not for very long outside of my relationship.
Okay. Can you tell me some things you do for fun?
I mean, I used to like to go to shows with my friends, but I don't like doing that anymore.
Shows with your friends. Okay. So when you went to a show with your friend, can you remember the last time you did that and you felt happy?
5 years ago. It's been pretty bad since then.
Can you do me a favor and can you imagine yourself with your friends at the show feeling happy?
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay. So if you can take that thought, at this very moment, are you feeling sad at all or hopeless when you think of that thought?
Not when I'm thinking of that thought.
Okay. So now you have a positive anchor or a positive thought you can go back to when you're feeling sad or hopeless and think about that. And there's a possibility that in the future you will not feel sad or hopeless, correct?
Yeah, but the problem is that it'll never last for very long.
Is that true?
I mean, it feels true. Nothing good in the past has ever lasted for very long.
But you absolutely know that no matter what, in all absolute, that your happiness in the future will not last very long?
I mean, I can't know for sure because I'm not a fortune teller, but a psychic, but it's based on past evidence, yeah.
What if you didn't have that thought at all? There's absolutely no possibility for Taylor to think that in the future she will never have long-lasting happiness. You can't think that. What are you thinking other than that? That thought no longer exists. It doesn't serve you, so it no longer exists. What else can you be thinking?
I don't know. Help me
What
out.
about going? Would
What's
you
the answer?
possibly think? Would you possibly think about the next concert to go to with your friends? Is it a possibility? Just curious.
Maybe.
Maybe the next HeartSupport Fest.
HeartSupport Fest 2025. Let's go.
Look, the questions were just to say that there's a different thought. So every single time you say, I'm sad, I'm hopeless, it's going to last forever. If you delete it, if you say, I can no longer think this. What else can I think? That's hard to do, though. It's not easy in the moment. It's not easy when you're going and you're spiraling, and I totally get that.
How would you cross-examine this idea of like fortune telling? Because I was like telling the future there by being like, nothing will ever be good for long. Again,
it's not a perfect science. And there will be times where you potentially ask yourselves questions that you'll continue to have to ask. And there are times in court, there are times then when you're asking witnesses where they throw curveballs. Yeah. And it's very possible that you end up throwing yourself a curveball. You ask yourself a question and then another limiting belief or a thought like that will pop up. And then you'll have to address that. But the point is to encourage that possibility and seeing that it's not a fact. It's not 100% certain. And there are alternatives to that thinking.
Yeah, that's so good. Justin, this was so helpful to have you on teaching us about these thoughts and how to ask these questions and how to cross-examine our own minds. And I just want to thank you so much for showing up, for repping HeartSupport in your hat, for being such a supporter. And you guys, if you need any personal injury legal help in Florida, please reach out.
Weinstein Legal Team, we do personal injury and criminal defense. So we can really help with any legal matter because we can refer to other lawyers that do other areas as well. So we'd be happy to talk to anybody about a legal issue. We also are very focused on helping people stay prepared and protected for these things. So like looking over insurance, answering questions about certain legal matters before something happens and having people stay prepared. That's really a big key for us here at the Weinstein Legal Team.
That's so awesome to help people before something even happens, to prepare them, to be there, to support them on their journey. How do people, if they have a friend or they themselves are looking for legal support, how do they find the Weinstein Legal Team?
Yeah, online, our website is www.thelawofwe.com.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. And as always, if you are struggling with the things that you say to yourself, please share in the comments by tagging out HeartSupport and we will encourage you. That is what we're here for. Mwah.